$200 to $300. That's what the average passenger leaves behind on a cruise ship. Not spent, not lost, never claimed. Money that was already inside the fare you paid the day you booked, sitting there all week while you walked past it. My name is Thomas Ashford, 30 years as a hotel director aboard cruise ships. Dining operations, cabin management, guest services, every billing line you've squinted at during checkout. Thousands of accounts, and nobody pays me to keep quiet about them anymore. The cruise lines don't hide any of this. They simply never volunteer it. And a passenger who doesn't know the right question never gets the right answer. Their job is to sell. Mine, for 30 years, was to tell passengers the truth. 7 things you already paid for. Number 7 pays you back for cruises you've already taken, so stay all the way there. Number 1, the menu behind the menu. There's a glossy card on your cabin desk, the paid specialty delivery menu, front and center. Most passengers order from it all week and never learn what's behind it. Because on most major lines, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, room service includes a complimentary basic menu, continental breakfast items, select snacks, certain cold options, no charge. It sits inside the full guest services directory, folded behind that glossy insert. So skip the card, open the directory, and find the standard room service menu. That's the free one. If it isn't there, say this at guest services, word for word. Can you send me the complimentary room service menu for this cabin category? Write that down before you board. That's the menu they don't put in front of you. The next one they hand you every evening and leave you to decode. Number 2, the classes hiding on the daily schedule. Fun times on Carnival, the cruise compass on Royal Caribbean. Here's the rule nobody explains at embarkation. Anything with a dollar sign or a fee notation is paid. Anything without one is included. That's the entire system. The fitness center itself is free on virtually every major line, and most people work that out. The classes listed right next to it are where it goes wrong. Some are complimentary, printed on the same page with no clear distinction. I've watched a passenger pay $40 a person for a yoga class printed 2 pages later at no charge because he stopped reading after the first listing. 10 minutes on morning 1, line by line. Then say it at the fitness desk. Can you mark the complimentary classes on today's schedule for me? 30 seconds and they'll do it. That's $40 on 1 page. Turn the page and the number gets a lot bigger. Number 3, the entertainment you have already bought. Broadway-style theatrical productions, headliner comedy shows, live music in the atrium and dedicated venues. On virtually every major ship sailing today, 100% included. No surcharge, no reservation fee, nothing collected at the door. And yet, the paid trivia tournaments get marketed far harder than the shows ever do. I've talked to passengers on the final night of a sailing who never once walked into a theater because they assumed they'd be charged at the door. Same rule. No fee notation on the schedule means you already own it. Say it at guest services on embarkation day. Can you mark the included entertainment on this week's schedule for me? That's what's printed. Now, here's what isn't on the deck map at all. Number 4, the dining venues 1 deck below where you were looking. Beyond the buffet and the main dining room, most ships carry secondary free venues that never make it onto the deck map. Guy's Burger Joint on Carnival, taco bars on certain Norwegian ships, deli counters on multiple Royal Caribbean vessels, pizza stations running late into the night. Fully included, no charge. Just tucked between an elevator bank and a retail corridor instead of out on the promenade where the foot traffic is. One passenger spent 4 nights of a 7-night sailing paying for specialty dining he didn't need because he assumed the buffet was the only free option on the ship. On day 5, a crew member walked him past the burger grill 1 deck down. He came to my desk afterward, not to complain, just to process it. On embarkation day, walk every deck and note every food venue you pass. No price board at the entrance means it's almost certainly included. If you're not sure, ask at the station, is this venue included in my fare? That's the whole question. That's what's free on the ship. Now here's what's free once you step off it. Number 5, the port that costs nothing on foot. Shore excursions run from $50 a person past $150, and sometimes they're worth it. But in Nassau, in Cozumel, in Grand Cayman, in St. Thomas, there are public beaches, cultural sites, local markets, and walking areas 5 to 10 minutes from the dock that cost nothing. The excursion desk is not going to volunteer that. Selling excursions is the job. Before your port days, search the port name along with the words "walk from port" on a sailing forum, and you'll find what's within walking distance. Save the excursion budget for the one port that actually earns it. On board, ask any crew member or port lecturer, which sites at this port are accessible on foot from the dock at no cost? That gets a straight answer every time. Being sold something you didn't need is one problem. Being billed for something you never agreed to is the one that costs passengers the most. Number 6, the account review nobody tells you to ask for. You can walk up to guest services at any point in the sailing, not just at checkout, and request a full, itemized review of your onboard account. Day 2, Day 4, the morning before disembarkation. Most passengers never do it because they assume the bill is the bill. Here's what that review surfaces. Minibar charges triggered by lifting an item and putting it back. Spa consultation fees added without clear consent. Gratuity adjustments processed incorrectly. Charges posted from a system default instead of an actual purchase. They sit on more accounts than you'd believe, and they can be disputed and removed on the spot if you catch them before the final bill closes. I watched this play out every week for 3 decades. The passengers who checked mid-cruise left with accurate bills. The ones who waited stood in a line of 300 people 6 minutes before their transfer left, signing off on charges they never should have paid. Say this at the desk on day 3 and again on day 5. I'd like a current printed statement of my onboard account so I can review it. Before the last one thing straight. Nothing here is a complaint, and nothing here is a favor. It's knowing what to ask and when. This last one is the only one that follows you home and keeps working after you've unpacked. And now the one I told you to stay for. Number 7, the points you already earned. Signing up for a cruise line's loyalty program costs nothing. Carnival's VIFP Club, Royal Caribbean's Crown and Anchor Society, Norwegian's Latitudes Rewards. And here's the part almost nobody knows. The points from your very first cruise get applied retroactively the moment you enroll. The sailing you're about to take, or the one you took last year, may already have earned you a tier you're not getting the benefits from. Onboard credit, dining upgrade priority, preferred boarding, cabin category discounts. None of it costs anything to activate. A 61-year-old nurse from North Carolina had taken 4 Carnival cruises over 8 years without ever joining. She enrolled the week before her 5th, submitted her past booking numbers, and was at Gold tier before she stepped on board. $40 of onboard credit for 11 minutes of work. Enroll before you sail. Submit your past booking numbers. Then call and say, "I'd like to apply my previous sailing history to my new loyalty account. Can you confirm which bookings are eligible?" 7 things. The menu behind the Glossy card. The classes with no $sign. The shows you already own. The venues one deck down. The port you can walk. The bill you can audit. And the account that counts cruises you already took. None of it required an upgrade, and none of it required a conversation you weren't entitled to have. You weren't asking for favors on that ship. You were collecting what was already yours. So tell me in the comments which one you didn't know about. And if you've already caught a charge like that on your own account, tell me which one. I read every single one. If you'd rather board the next one already knowing all 7, subscribe before you go. Next time, exactly what to do instead of standing in that 6-minute checkout line on the last morning, so you're never one of the 300 people in it. Until then, before you board, before you sign anything, ask the question first.